Hello, 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 hello. Good morning. Hey, you guys. Hello. I think I forget, I know it's a Saturday. Hi. So, a couple of quick things. You know, we have a channel on YouTube. I'd love it if you'd follow that or subscribe to that channel on YouTube for us. We've been kind of growing that, and yeah, there's a lot of videos there, and yeah, if you'd follow that, it'd be great. It's under Valley and Beyond still, and yeah, so give that a follow. Thanks. And today's Saturday. If you're in Calgary, um, I'm going to be down at Kane's motorcycle shop today, which I've been at the last quite a few Saturdays. Uh, I work at a recovery center, which I really enjoy and love being there with the men in recovery in the front line. It's beautiful, and we part of a fundraising event is that we're raffling off a Harley Davidson, a Heritage Classic, a beautiful motorcycle, a brand new one, and so I'm down there selling tickets today. So come and visit me. I'd love that if you could come down today and visit. Um, so that's it for my little plug. I This morning am going to speak a bit about resentment. To resent is to relive, and to hold a resentment is like keeping an event or a situation in our mind, in our psyche, and carrying it around with us. Um, Sometimes we're carrying resentments around for years, for decades, uh, for almost a whole lifetime. And that resentment that we have, maybe it's against our dad or our mom or, you know, um, can be even the smallest thing. Um, and, um, when I think of, as a child, I had plenty of resentments. And my brothers, and I was a number three. Was I number three? I was number four out of five, and so quite a bit younger. I had lots of resentments, especially against my older brothers and sister and stuff like that. So resentment, though, what resentment does is it holds us in an old place. It's like carrying this big weight, and so here we want to be free, we want to fly, and um, and we have these resentments with mom or dad. And sometimes when we have a resentment with mom and dad, anybody that even looks like mom or dad are already prejudged. And or we go out and we marry somebody who's kind of like dad or mom, and to punish them even. I don't know if it's to punish them or to relive our resentment or to surrender it, but resentment can actually run our lives. Old resentments, and of course, if we're not aware of the weight of resentment, we can live in more of it, and we can be resentful towards groups of people, cultures. People will say, "Oh, I hate those people." That's that's like a resentment. It's an anger against those people. So the only one, of course, who gets hurt is us with the resentment. It's like drinking poison and thinking we're going to hurt them. you know. So what if somebody legitimately did do something that you felt was against you, and so you have now a justified resentment? Uncle Joe was inappropriate with you when you were 6 or 7, and you've spent your whole life hating Uncle Joe, and or Uncle Bob or Uncle whoever. And so what happens, and in our mind, we think, well, we're justified. We are justified to have that resentment. Uncle Joe was a pedophile, and I hate all pedophiles. So it's still a resentment. It's still us feeling hate or anger towards somebody, and it keeps us in a small container. It is part of the wall of our prison. And so my encouragement is that we recognize our resentments. In the 12-step program, of course, we sit down and make a list of them. And, often in the first cut, as a newcomer, the list is this, a lot of the big ones, But as life goes on, the other ones come up, we see them and say, oh my gosh, I didn't realize that I had a resentments towards the school system as a kid, and I still have it somewhat. I don't, I've that kind of an idea, or I don't trust them, or I had a resentment towards the authority figures in like the police department or whatever, depending on where you came from. So those ones surface and we let those go. So true freedom, if we want to live in our full potential, if we really want to live connected moment to moment to a universal intelligence, to intuition, so that we know, and we don't even know how we know. We just know things; they just appear. Life flows. If we want to live in that flow, we have to be free of resentment. Period. And sometimes those resentments are even against ourselves. We judge ourselves as, in an angry way. We're angry at ourselves for decisions we made or didn't make. So we just surrender those two and recognize that we can't carry them into tomorrow. We can't carry them with us day to day. So resentment, in the 12-step program, it's the number one offender, it tells us. It really needs our attention. It needs, it doesn't just all go away. We continue to ask to have it removed as they come up. We see our part in things. If we, have a resentment towards, somebody, we see if there's any part of that was ours, because we want to clean that up. Anyway, freedom from resentment, you guys. Just a really simple thing, a practical thing, a realistic thing for all of us. If we're carrying anger, about a situation from 25 years ago, wow, we've been in that prison of that resentment for 25 years. Let it go. Just see it, write it down, talk to somebody about it, and experience the freedom. Free of resentment, so that's just practical. Thought I'd talk about that. The road to awakening is to see, ourselves in all our situations, and who wants to be in resentment? Nobody. I got to turn this light on because I want to be able to see what I'm reading. So this is our daily 24-hour day book. I've been reading this for quite a while for us, for me. And it is my daily reading, and I get to share it with you. Thank you so much. August the 8th. Yeah, August the 8th. It says, thought for the day. This book was written in 1954, so it's a little dated, but I love it. It has some good pieces in it, really does. It says, for a while, we are going back to the big book. For a while, we're going back to the big book, Alcoholics Anonymous. That's our text, recovery text. It has all the details of the how-to of recovery from alcoholism and addiction. It's amazing. It is unbelievably amazing. If you haven't got it, get it, read it, study it. It is a text. For a while, we're going back to the big book, Alcoholics Anonymous, and we pick out passages here and there so that we may become fixed in our minds, so that we become fixed in our minds, and so that they may become fixed in our minds. That's right. A little at a time, day by day, as we go along. There's no substitute for reading the big book, it says. It is our Bible. Yes, it's our text. It really is. It shows us precisely how the first 100 men and women recovered, and from that precise description of how the recovery has happened, many millions have recovered from a hopeless state of mind and body. So, it works for millions. Guess what? You're not going to come along and find a new way. Although ego says, you don't need that book. All right, here we go. It is our Bible. It says we should study it thoroughly and make it a part of ourselves. True. I don't know. I've probably been to 100 big book studies, like literally. Love the book. At least 100 big book studies. Who knows? We should study it thoroughly and make it a part of ourselves. We should not try to change any of it. I agree. Yeah. We can see how the principles are overlaid in other teachings, for sure. We can see that the principles, the spiritual principles in the text, Alcoholics Anonymous, the big book, are similar or even exactly the same as in other teachings. But the book is simply put together for us, and it's amazing. We should study it thoroughly and make it a part of ourselves. We should not try to change it in any way. Within its covers is a full exposition of the AA program, the 12-step program. There's no substitute for it. Amen. We should study it. Have I studied the big book faithfully? And I recommend, if you're new and that you have somebody who knows the book really well, go through it with you. It reads like a reasonably high piece of literature. So it's many of us are not used to reading a book that's so well. We're kind of been reading Reader's Digest for so long that we're at a simpler level, honestly. Or read it with a dictionary, because there's words that Bill, who was the ultimate author, used that you might have to look up in the dictionary, seriously, or ask Google or ask Siri. Okay, meditation for the day. All of life is a fluctuation between effort and rest. You need both every day. But effort is not truly effective until first you have had the proper preparation for it by resting in a time of quiet meditation. I love that. This daily time of rest and meditation gives you the power necessary to make your best effort. Beautiful. There are days when you are called on for much effort, and then comes a time when you need much rest. It's not good to rest too long, and it's not good, he says, to carry on great effort too long without rest. The successful life is a proper balance between the two. Nice piece of advice, meditation for the day. It's in this little book. And then he has, so there's three things: the thought for the day, the meditation for the day, and then the prayer for the day. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may be ready to make the proper effort. I pray that I may also recognize the need for relaxation. Oh, okay, you guys. So that's the reading for the day. Love you. Remember to examine our resentments. There's no justified resentment, over holding an anger towards somebody. Let it go. Just watch it come up. Sometimes we have to just pray about it to let it go. But as we see it, we don't give it any energy. We don't, the anger doesn't come with it. When it comes up, we can surrender it, and then see if we have a part in it. If there's something that we did and that we don't want to look at, and that's why we're so angry at Uncle Joe, because maybe there was, something in there that was ours or somebody else's that we don't want to acknowledge. So look at it clearly and talk about it with somebody who understands how to pick through some of this stuff and help us release these old burdens that we carry. And we'll find freedom. So, anyway, that's it. Today, I guess I just share with you. I'll be down at Cane's in Calgary if you're in Calgary, or you can message me and we'll do this if you want a ticket on this motorcycle fundraiser we're doing for Fresh Start Recovery Center. Message me and we can do it over online. And I'll, write your name on a ticket and send you a picture of it, and you can e-transfer me. Okay, that's my thing today. Love you guys. Freedom from resentment.